just in case my brother's doing his speakers on his car, because this is just after Christmas, like the 27th. Today's like 27th. So when he was doing when he was coming in and out getting tools and stuff, I let it sit, you know, try to keep them from coming in as much as possible, even though I knew that this was just kind of a test panel. And then, you know, it got some dust that would sit on top, but it dries very, very quickly. So now it was sitting on top. Obviously, I'm not going to let that stay before I clear. So what I was trying to do was I was trying to knock that off with a towel. And it turns out that my dad actually picked up like a bag of clean towels right there, big bag of clean towels, which this is the one I was using. And I was starting over here to knock all the dust off. And it turns out that it was all set up over here, but it had a wet spot right there. I don't know why, but everywhere else it was fine, but here there was a wet spot. And when I went over it, it pulled. It was still tacky, and it pulled the you know, the fibers off of the towel and had it stuck in the paint. And another thing that I did not do is, because this was just a test panel, I also did not go over this guy with a tack cloth. So that would be another thing. I use a degreaser with this towel right here, and then I use this guy. Another thing would be use like a microfiber, something that's zero lint, because this guy left a whole bunch of, you know, fibers and stuff and hairs and stuff on it. But then I use this guy to clean that off, and then it would be the best to go over it with the tack cloth. What else? So other than that, I mean, this thing shot. The paint is really, really nice. Obviously, with the gun that I used this gun, which I highly recommend. It's my finished gun. This is a Warwick, W-A-R-I-C-K-H-E, which is high efficiency. Obviously, made in Taiwan gun. It's a HVLP 904H, and I just set my compressor at 29 psi. It runs great. Comes with a 1.4 and a 1.5 nozzle, needle, cap. And it comes with the little tiny spray, I guess, gravity spray cup, which is perfect for this panel. But I'll probably be using something like that, or the one for my primer gun, which I don't even know where it is, somewhere around here. Use my primer gun to shoot that cup off the primer gun. So even with that gun, it still sprays with a little bit of orange peel, but I expected that. You know, I'm not the best painter, and I've only been doing it for a little while, so I was expecting some orange peel and have to do color sanding after. So let me go ahead and put down the camera and show you guys how much of this material I used and how much I would recommend for the car. So I ended up doing 4 coats of color, I believe, and I did 4 coats, I believe, also of clear. And I got progressively heavier with the clear. I went, I probably should have shook this. I mean, I still can. What I would recommend is just get progressively heavier with the clear. First, just do a dust coat, which is what it recommends, and then get progressively heavier with the clear over time. And then that will allow you to, you know, start to build it up. And obviously go heavy the last time. But what I noticed on the clear is that it lays out really well. But we'll talk about that in a second. So as you see, I used up quite a bit of this guy. This guy was filled up to maybe about there. So I used about maybe 2/3 of it. Maybe I used about half, about 2/3 to half, or somewhere around there of. So then 3/4 to half of a 1 quart can of color, and then I used up quite a bit of the clear. So what I'm thinking is that per panel, I'm going to use about half a can per panel, shooting 2 to 3 coats of clear. I mean, 2 to 3 coats of color. I just touched the clear. Don't want to get that all over my camera. And then here's the clear, and all the stuff that I really like about. So you can see it, sort of see it down there. I mean, I almost finished that. So I would probably even add an extra just so I don't want to go through when I color sand, just so I have extra left to color sand. So from how it shot, I was never worried about runs. You don't see a single run on this guy. I mean, it's pretty much ideal conditions how it's sitting. Even with, you know, a downslope right here and going heavy at the end, I wasn't worried about it ever, you know, having problems about running. Same thing with the clear. I went on heavy sometimes. Starting out here, I would slow down on my final coat. Because of that, I actually changed it on the next one. But I was going really, really slow because I thought it was going to be my final coat. And it was coming on really heavy, and it ended up just flattening off, just flattening out, and had no worries of it running at all. So it shot amazing. As you can see, it came out really, really well, but it did carry over the orange peel from the base coat. Base coat did have orange peel on it. I've heard that pretty much most people are having that issue as far as it shooting out orange peel with, you know, basic, you know, $120 gun. That's like a $120 gun. Maybe with $300 gun and, you know, perfect air conditions and knowing more about how to tune your gun besides just, you know, material and spray, and then having it perfectly clean each time, and having maybe you know, the suction bag on top with the gravity feed so that you pull more material in, you might get, you know, no orange peel. But in this case, I expected orange peel. I got orange peel on my dash with, you know, paint that's 4 times more expensive than this guy, and I still got orange peel on the dash that I had to use. So this is probably the color I'm going to use. I'm going to color sand this bad boy and see what it looks like, or I guess you could say I'm going to sand the clear. I'm going to use 1500 grit, and then I'm going to use rubbing compound, polish, glaze, and then swirl remover with a orbital sander. I have a dual I have a dual speed buffing wheel, but I'm probably going to just get an orbital sander from like Harbor Freight or something that I could use a foam pad and a wool cloth on. So I really, really like this product. The product's really nice, already pre-reduced, no hardener because it's a lacquer, or no activator, so you just pour it and spray. So it's really easy to use, and when you're done, out of your gun, if you have any left, you can just pour it back in the can. It's not going to activate in the can. It's a really, really great product. Cleans up really nice with lacquer thinner. Shoots with a 1.4 nozzle, really, really nice. Overall, I think it's a great product. I think if I could do those things that I mentioned, where I have a cleaner environment, if I did a cross pattern, even though as far as those 4, the cross pattern is really going to help you do it in 2 coats. Because if you have a band, you're going to have to put it on a 3rd coat, and you're going to use quite a bit more paint if you add a 3rd coat. So I think if you just did a crossed and then you did diagonally just to change up the pattern, you get rid of any banding. But as you can see, I don't have any banding. All the dark spots are from the reflections off of the ceiling and off of things that are next to it. So I think that you know, 2 coats you should be okay. 2-3 coats max color, and then 4 to 5 clear. And so obviously I'm going to be getting quite a bit more of these in the future. I'll probably find them for a good deal. What I think I just decided right now is I'll have another video where I'm reviewing that product in a little bit. So that will basically be that next video will be the consensus of what I found out after maybe reshooting this panel and testing multiple batches and finding the best cost for the product, and what I think about it overall, and if I would use it again. Alright, so that's basically it. I'm gonna take this guy out, look at it in the sun, but I'll probably just reshoot a video later with it color sanded and it also sitting in the sun, and put in an 11.25 minute video on that as well. Alright, so that's basically it. This is taking up 2 videos here, and you can see kind of my first test for the Mustang panel test, and obviously wasn't really too too critical on keeping all the dirt out of it. This is a dirty environment. I didn't even wet the floor. So this is just kind of a rough run of just to see the color. And I do really enjoy the color. And I have a few minutes left, so I have my light back out. And you could just see the flake. But it seems like my battery's running low on my camera, so that will be it, guys. So thank you so much for watching, and see some more videos on this product and this project coming soon. Also, I'm probably going to be getting another Classic as my daily driver because I'm getting rid of my current daily driver, and more videos on that coming soon. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Peace.